Emma had always dreamed of a fresh start, but nothing prepared her for the chaos of her new college. On her first day, the hallway buzzed with noise, lockers slammed, students laughed in groups, and footsteps echoed everywhere. She walked slowly, clutching her books tightly to her chest, trying to find her classroom without drawing attention. Her eyes stayed low, her steps careful. She hoped to blend into the crowd like a shadow. But fate had other plans. As Emma stepped aside to let a group pass, she accidentally blocked the path of Ryan, a well-known troublemaker who thrived on loudness and intimidation. He stormed forward without watching where he was going. When Emma didn't move fast enough, Ryan reacted instantly. With a rough shove and a sharp punch to her shoulder, he pushed her out of his way. Emma stumbled back, losing her balance for a moment. Her books slipped slightly, and a sudden sting spread through her arm. The hallway fell quiet for a second as a few students turned to look, whispering among themselves. But Emma didn't cry. She swallowed hard, blinking away the tears that wanted to fall. Her breathing trembled, yet she stood straight, refusing to break in front of strangers. Ryan towered over her for another moment, expecting fear, maybe an apology. Instead, he saw something unexpected: calmness, strength, and a quiet resilience in Emma's eyes. She wasn't weak. She wasn't folding. And that silent defiance marked the beginning of a story neither of them saw coming. Emma took a slow, steady breath as the sting on her shoulder faded into a quiet determination. The hallway noise returned, but this time it didn't overwhelm her. She lifted her chin, tightened her grip on her books, and turned to face Ryan. Students nearby paused, expecting her to walk away, or break down. Instead, they watched something no one had seen before. Emma looked straight into Ryan's eyes, her voice calm and steady. "If pushing people makes you feel strong," she said softly, "you must be hurting more than you show." Her words weren't loud, but they struck harder than any punch. Ryan blinked, thrown completely off balance by her unexpected courage. Not stopping there, Emma shifted her stance just slightly, not aggressive, but confident. It was the kind of posture that said she wasn't scared anymore. She wasn't backing down. She had found her strength. A few students gasped. Someone whispered, "Did she just talk back to Ryan?" The tension in the hallway rose like electricity, but Emma stood firm, breathing evenly, her gaze unshaken. Ryan, who had expected fear or tears, suddenly froze. No one had ever responded to him with calm defiance. No one had ever looked at him as if he wasn't a threat, but a person who could choose differently. For a moment, he didn't know what to do. His hand, still half raised from the shove, slowly dropped to his side. Emma didn't smirk or smile. She simply nodded, as if acknowledging her own courage. And in that instant, the hallway witnessed a shift, small, silent, but powerful. Ryan sat alone at a corner table in the cafeteria, his lunch untouched. The noise around him faded into a distant hum as the moment with Emma replayed in his mind again and again. He had pushed people before, many times. Most backed away, some cried, a few complained. But no one had ever looked at him the way Emma did. Her calm words echoed in his thoughts, unsettling and strangely familiar, as if they came from a place he had long forgotten. He tapped his fingers restlessly on the table, trying to shake off the uneasiness. Why did her voice stick with him? Why did her steady eyes feel heavier than any punishment? Lost in his thoughts, he didn't notice Emma approaching until she lightly tapped the table. Ryan looked up, startled. She wasn't angry. She wasn't scared. She held 2 books in her hand, his books, which he had unknowingly dropped earlier while storming away. "You dropped these," she said softly. Her tone wasn't mocking or dramatic. It was simple kindness. She placed the books gently on the table and offered a small, genuine smile. Not a smile of victory, not pity, just understanding. Ryan blinked, taken aback. Why help me?" he muttered, confused. Emma shrugged lightly. Everyone has bad moments. It doesn't mean we can't do better. Her words sank deeper than he expected. Something shifted inside him, a mixture of surprise, confusion, and a spark of humility he hadn't felt in years. For the first time, Ryan wondered if he had been wrong about strength all along. A few days passed, and the college atmosphere slowly shifted in ways no one expected. Ryan walked into class, not with his usual heavy swagger but with a quieter presence. He noticed a freshman struggling to carry a stack of art supplies, something he would have ignored before. Without thinking twice, he stepped forward and said, "Here, let me help." The student stared in surprise but handed them over, and Ryan carried the load all the way to their table. Small, simple, but different. Word began spreading, Ryan wasn't acting like the old Ryan. In the common area, a group of students laughed at a girl who accidentally spilled her coffee. Before they could tease her further, Ryan stepped in. "Hey, cut it out," he said firmly. The group backed off instantly. He didn't glare or threaten, just stood with a calm confidence that felt new, almost unfamiliar. Emma watched from a distance, quietly observing. She didn't approach or draw attention, but when Ryan noticed her, he nodded slightly. She returned the gesture with a soft smile. Their silent acknowledgement carried more weight than words. People noticed the change. Some whispered in surprise, others felt encouraged. If someone like Ryan could shift his behavior, maybe they could treat each other better too. Students started holding doors open more often, offering help, and speaking with a bit more kindness. Emma's courage had sparked something in him, and Ryan's transformation began sparking something in everyone else. The campus felt lighter, warmer, and more human, proof that one act of bravery and one act of kindness could ripple far beyond what anyone ever imagined. The sun dipped low over the campus, casting a warm golden glow across the courtyard as students drifted past in small groups. Laughter, conversations, and the soft rustle of backpacks filled the air, but amid the usual end-of-day chaos, a quiet moment was unfolding. Emma walked across the pathway, her red cardigan bright against the soft sunset colors. She wasn't looking for anyone, just enjoying the peaceful close of a long day. A few steps ahead, Ryan stepped out of a classroom, holding the door open for a girl carrying too many books. She thanked him with a smile before hurrying off. Ryan watched her go, a small, almost shy smile appearing on his face, something no one would have expected a week ago. When he turned, he saw Emma approaching. For a second, both paused, the world around them continuing in motion while they stood still. There were no dramatic speeches, no explanations, no apologies demanded. They simply looked at each other, understanding everything without saying a word. Ryan gave a slow, sincere nod, a gesture of gratitude, respect, and quiet acknowledgement of how far he had come. Emma responded with a gentle smile, the kind that carried warmth without expecting anything in return. The sunlight framed them both, soft and hopeful, as if the world itself approved of this silent moment. It was a reminder that courage doesn't always shout or fight. Sometimes, it simply chooses kindness. And in choosing kindness, both Emma and Ryan discovered a strength that could change more than just one day, it could change lives.